Hello, everyone. My name is Solomon Petre, and today I will be speaking about cyber attack lifecycle resilience. The objectives of this presentation, in this objective, I will list information that you, the audience, will be able to learn about the presentation, including a description of the steps that should be taken at each of the 8 stages of the cyber kill chain to prevent an attack, an identification of the potential motives that usually satisfy the mission of attackers, like financial gain, brand damage, etc. And finally, an explanation of how you will apply the cybersecurity lifecycle, cybersecurity framework, and methodologies to establish a cybersecurity program that supports an organization's strategic and business initiatives. The cyber skill kill chain, cyber attack lifecycle, or cyber kill chain is a sequence of steps that an attacker goes through to gain unauthorized access to devices on the network. On average, an advanced cyber attack can nest inside a network for more than 200 days before discovery. An attack vector, known as the cyber attack cycle, enlists malicious hackers to target less secure vendors to gain access to larger targets. The 8 stages of the cyber kill chain and how to prevent an attack. The first stage is reconnaissance. The attacker do extensive research and identify a vulnerable target that can provide them with a port of entry, like for example, your LinkedIn profile or corporate website. The security measures you will use to prevent this attack would include improving perimeter security through firewalls, monitoring suspicious conduct at access points, visitor logs, and reporting suspect emails will keep attackers from learning about your network system. The next stage is weaponization. In this stage, the attacker collects all the tools that they need to gain access to the network and exploit any vulnerability that they can find. They sometimes create a virus or worm to exploit the vulnerability. The security measures used here is hardening network system against attack and keeping all software up to date, conducting security awareness training, and creating detection software. The next stage is delivery. The attacker launches an attack, malware, at the target environment. The attacker may send phishing emails, develop an effective website, or want someone to open an effective document. The defensive measures here include preventing all unauthorized traffic from reaching the network system, protecting against phishing attack by using patch management software on the system, and conducting penetration tests to identify threats and weak areas. The next stage in the cyber kill chain is exploitation. In this stage, after the malware is delivered, the attacker uses data retrieved against a web-based email system or VPN connection and exploit the network, gaining privilege to download and install more sophisticated malware. The defensive measures employed here are endpoint protections, like installing traps, antivirus, and anti-spyware signature-based software, and keeping the software and patch level up to date. The next stage is installation. The attacker installs a persistent backdoor for malicious software on the system and create admin's accounts, giving the attacker access to the network, disabling firewalls rules, and activating remote desktop access on server on the network. The defensive measures used here are monitoring the network system for any signs of compromise, performing regular vulnerability scanning on the system, installing antivirus software, a host-based intrusion detection system, and keeping the system up to date. The next stage is the command and control. With access to the network administrator accounts and all the needed tools in place, the attacker now is in total control and can lock anyone out of the network if they want to. Defensive measures include disrupting communication between the attacker and the system, constantly scanning for available threats on the system, requiring proxies for all types of traffic, allowing only known application traffic, configuring a firewall to control access to unknown website and domain names. The seventh stage of this cyber kill chain is actions on objectives. Attacker could steal information on employees, customer, product design, create fear or political statement, or mess with the company operation in a major way. The security measures here employed will be to keep attackers from achieving their goals are by monitoring the system for any sign of compromise, configuring file blocking profiles or data filtering profiles to block data exfiltrate. Lastly, the eighth stage of the cyber kill chain is denial of service. Denial of service uses a compromised host to initiate a DOS attack against other hosts and networks, making a website or application unavailable to user by flooding the network. The security measure used here will be to establish a DOS protection policy, and you do this by providing flexible rules, matching criteria to help protect destination zones, aiming specific end hosts, and protecting any server that are critical or historically have been prone to DOS attacks. Potential motives. What are the potential motives satisfying an attacker mission? For one, it is financial gain. The attacker may try to steal credit cards information or other sensitive information to sell on the black market. The main goal is profit, which is achieved through bank accounts, ATMs. Attackers sell malware or ransomware as a service. Brand damage. The attackers are motivated by a desire to harm the company reputation by launching a denial of service attack, leaking sensitive information like trade secret or information that could embarrass the company, subdue their influence, and give the company's competitor a competitive advantage. Another potential motive is system access motivation. Attackers may want access to the company's system to plant malware or engage in espionage or test their prowess, skill set, and their capabilities. This may take the form of stealing PI, personal information, to sell on the black market, or holding a company individual data for ransom. And then there's the ideological motivation. Attacker cause disruption or promote a political agenda. This is rare. So now we come to the point where trying to establish a cybersecurity program for an organization or enterprise strategic and business initiatives. So in order to do that, you go through the cybersecurity life cycle phases. Here you identify the organization objectives, access the current state by identifying gaps within the cybersecurity program. You develop a plan, you implement that plan to ensure its effectiveness. you monitor the plan, and you continually access the plan. Some different methodologies are used for establishing this strong cybersecurity program. Things like risk management and threat modeling tools are used, vulnerability management, security controls, security awareness and training, incident response. Another thing in order to build a robust cybersecurity program, you would need, from a business perspective, you would need a cybersecurity framework, the NIST framework. And its core functions include identification, protection, detection, response, and recovery. In identification, the enterprise network implements a risk assessment strategy. In protection, the enterprise executes a network access control to limit the impact of a potential cybersecurity event. Detection, the enterprise must implement appropriate measures to detect any intrusion in the network. Response, the enterprise make a response plan by analysis and mitigation. Recovery, the enterprise must communicate and have a recovery plan in place to improve its current situation. The NIST enterprise framework will be employed for a better compliance approach. A combination of all three, the cybersecurity life cycle, the different methodologies, the cybersecurity framework, combining all three will lead to a more robust cybersecurity program in line with the organization or the enterprise strategic objectives and as well as the business initiatives. These are some of my presenters' notes, and these are my references. Thank you.